Hey everyone, welcome back to Codex Station Comics 101. We are in issue number 4. I'm with the great one right there, Ric Flair of comics, Uncle
Whoop.
Gary, and the most perfect couple in all of comicdom, J Dub and Precious.
She does all the work.
Welcome.
The
I'm
most
Mighty Mike
precious.
Harbour. Yep. And today, episode 4, we're going to talk about the Overstreet Comic Book Guide. People say, well, what's the Overstreet Comic Book Guide? Well, that's what we're going to tell you about. So basically, in 1970, Mr. Overstreet, as a guide to his fellow fans who were in Golden and Silver Age comics, decided to put together a book that had all of the Golden and Silver Age books. It sold for $5. It had a print run of about 1,800 copies. That was 2 print runs. One was 1,000, one was 800, and it had about 218 pages of content. Compare that to the current print run, which is probably in the hundreds of thousands. It's offered online as well. And the most current version, which I have here, has a page count of over 1,100. So that's a lot of books. This book is issued annually and contains market reports on sales of all the classic comics, tells you what everything has been sold for. Well, most of the big ones have been sold for. It also has contributions from many comic book dealers who talk about the state of the market of the comic books, and actually, me and Gary know a few of them who are,
Which is really cool to see.
yeah,
We know quite a few of them
who
are.
add their value and add what's selling, what's not selling, what they're seeing. The guide's considered the standard for inventory and pricing in the comic book industry. So if you want to know what the comic book's worth, you buy the Overstreet Guide. This is the 24-25 edition with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Gary, what do you got there?
This here is a replica of the original. Now, the original was actually a pamphlet. It was soft cover. There was a white cover and a blue cover. One of them was the more limited edition, and the other one, there were more copies made. I can't remember which was which, but our good buddy Damien has both of them, which is really cool. But a few years ago, to honor the 50th anniversary of the Price Guide, they created this hardcover. And what's really cool on this is Robert Overstreet was the gentleman behind the original Price Guide. Is this copy? There were 100 of this that were signed by him. So I would tell you that Overstreet in the comic industry, I think, is one of the top 10 most influential person, I would say, in the entire, and I'm talking about writers, artists, creators. I would say that Robert Overstreet is one of the 10 most influential people ever in the comic industry, because creating this guide really fueled this industry with back issues and things like that. Mike, what do you think? Do you agree with that?
I think totally. Yep. If you were to go through this book, and look at where he begins in the most recent book, he talks about the big little books. He talks about promotional books and Ashcan editions, about where those were and what you could see there. Goes back to the Victorian age of books, way back. Talks about the platinum age. He's got books in there. And then, of course, as you move through, he goes into the golden age, the silver age, the modern age, and complete with pictures in some of the books. And he'll tell you what the various copies are and tell you about the grading system: good, very good, fine, very fine, very fine, near mint, and near mint plus. So anything you need to know about a book, and if it's something that's really, you think, hey man, what have I got? And just because it's an old book doesn't mean it's worth a whole lot. It's got to be something people are looking for, and you can find it here. and you may not like the price, or you may like the price. So I find out that I like the price more than most. So
Yeah. Now, we've got a 10-point scale. In the original 1970 book, it was good, fine, and mint. Those were the three categories. Good, fine, and mint. So,
kind of like that a little bit better than the 10-point scale.
well, and of course anything nowadays. I mean, and the guide is just that. It's a guide. If you have a book that is above a 9, usually the prices that are listed in the Overstreet guide, they go way above that because there just aren't that many listed, of those books there. So this original 1970 book is really for guys like me and Mike that are big into the history of comics. And we love old, expensive books. When we read a book like this and we see what the 1970 prices were,
we cry like babies.
Yeah, we cry like babies. So, Jamie, Precious, what are some books that were around in 1970 that you might like to see what the 1970 price was?
How about we go with Star Wars, like the first one?
Well, first Star Wars wouldn't be in the 1970 book. The Star Wars from 1977.
77. Maybe something old, really, really old.
Abby, you?
He's not really old.
Yeah, you're older than me.
I know. Stop it.
Action number 1.
Ooh,
Action number 1. That's a nice choice. That is the first Superman comic. Action 1. And here, back in the old days, the pictures they had were like little photocopies of it. In the new book that Mike has, the pictures of the books are very glossy and pretty, So here they're just black and white. Action Comics number 1, first appearance of Superman. A good copy, $200. A fine copy, $250. And a mint copy, $300. Now, I can tell you from my experience, what I know of this book, that $300 price is the most expensive book in this guide.
Well, let's see. Looking at the most recent price, a good copy would be $386,000. A fine copy, that would be $1.288 million.
Wow.
And
no.
I know that you'll buy this one for Precious. The near mint copy would only be about $7 million.
Only.
There you go.
Their price range, right?
That's
only
it.
$7 million.
And you know what's tough on Action 1? It's the first appearance of Superman. But if you're a fan of Zatanna's father, Zatara, and you're like, man, I really want to get the first appearance of Zatara, you are so out of luck because Action 1 is the first appearance of Zatara.
Yeah.
So you're out of luck if you are collecting Zatara. So how about a little Amazing Fantasy 15 action? Let's see that's the first Spider-Man. Let's see what that goes for. So Amazing Fantasy 15, first Spidey. Here we go. There's a picture of it. Amazing Detective, Amazing Fantasy 15, origin and first appearance of Spider-Man. Oh my goodness. Okay, a good copy of Amazing and at this point that book's 10 years old. An Amazing Fantasy 15 is $12. A fine copy is $14, and a mint copy is $16.
Let me see.
Wow!
I was born in the wrong era.
Wow!
So Amazing Fantasy 15. Oh, a good copy is only $14,900. Am I looking at the right thing? This must be it. Yeah. Fine copy would be $171,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
And your near mint would be just $700,000.
Just 700,000. Wow.
Yeah, chump change.
Chump change. And you know what the funny thing is? Only 11 pages in that book.
Mm.
Wow.
Did not realize that.
That is crazy. Yeah. So
I'm going to see if there's a Star Wars in my first. This was my first book I ever bought myself, of the Overstreet Guide.
what year is that?
I'm trying to see. It's a Porky Pig cover. I think it's a 1977 book. So Star Wars might have just come out.
She was also asking Detective 1.
Oh,
Detective 1. Okay.
Detective 1 in the original. I looked at that a minute ago. Mint is $275.
200.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Detective 27, the first Batman. Detective 1 wouldn't have been that much. Star Spangled Star Wars. So Star Wars is so new it's not in here in this one. Yeah, but Detective. Let's see. And Detective 1 is a lot harder to find than Detective 27. So let's see what that rarity was in this. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Detective 1.
So Detective 1, not the first appearance of Batman, but Detective 1 is good $60, fine $85, mint $125. And then we go all the way up to Detective 27, which is first Batman.
Just 100.
175 for good, 225 for fine, 275 for mint.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay, so Detective 1, good is 22,300. And it goes up to very fine, which is 165,000. They don't go any higher than that.
Because none exist.
None exist.
I
Now,
swear to God, inflation is just killing everybody.
27, 327K for a good copy. A very fine copy would be $2.1 million. And your near mint would be 4.8 million.
4.8.
This is the money that falls out of Gary's pants on a regular basis.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Mike, a book you would love, Detective 38, the first appearance of Robin. A good is 40, fine is 50, a mint copy, $60.
And which one was that?
Detective 38, the first appearance of Robin.
38. Here we go. Let's see. For a good copy, 17,000. Fine, 51,000. And near mint, 230K.
Yep, there you go.
I'm not sure my wife would let me buy that.
I like Robin. But they got facsimiles for those, right?
Yes, they do. They sure do.
So we were talking. Precious wanted to know about Star Wars, right?
Yeah, that's the one she had me ask, and then
Star Wars. All right. So here we go.
But that's in the new volume.
Okay, so Star Wars. Did you know that the first issue went on sale before the movie came out?
Yes, it did.
did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
Rob learned that on one of our Grumpy Old Nerds show, and he didn't believe me.
Yeah. So you've got $20 for a good copy, 65 for a fair, and 500 for a near mint copy. Now, if you had the 35-cent issue, you had $530. Fair fine copy would be $1,500 and 16,000 for the number one. But you can get a reprint for $7.
Which is much better deal.
I'll take the reprint every day if I can.
There you go. So yeah, so if there's you can find anything in the. Although what you can find in here is underground comics are books that have sexual themes.
No. So
Not have them in this copy.
Here's the 9th price guide from 1979, and here's the 1979 price for Star Wars. So, number one, the 35-cent cover price with the limited disc. Well, first let's go to the regular 30% book. 2 in good, $4 in fine, $6 in mint. In the limited distribution, 35 cent, 3 in good, 6 in fine, $9 in mint. So there you go.
There you
That
go.
was 2 years after it was published.
God.
So
Should have bought all of them.
should have bought them all.
Well, I have them all. That's right.
Yes, you do.
That hurts more.
Mm-mm-mm.
I thought I just had to deal with that with Uncle Gary, but now I obviously got to deal with it with Mike. So
Yep.
You won't have it as much with me, though.
Oh,
he does have it all. He's like, I have it all.
But yeah, this book is fun just to go through, you know.
well, it is, and it's just a, like I said, it's just a it's a damn when you sit there and go, $300 for Action 1, 1970.
Yeah.
Damn.
If only my 4-year-old self would have had $300.
Well, so that was let's see, how did that jump? So that was 1970. Let's see how Action was in 1977 here when I bought my first price guide. So it was 300 was Action 1. So in these early days of the price guide, did that help make that let's see if that helped make that jump. Here we go to Action, blah blah blah. First Superman. Wow, it really did jump. So a good in 1977 was $1,700.50.
Wow.
A fine was $3,500, and a mint was $5,250 in 1977. So that's a hell of a jump from 70 to 77.
Yeah.
That is indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, Joe.
Well, I think that unless you guys have some questions
Yep.
on the
Yeah,
price
I'm-
guide, I think
I'm
that
good. It
wraps
was just
up.
fun seeing the differences between the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait to see 5-10 years from now.
Well, yeah, I know the Silver Age books tend to go up and down a little bit, especially the Marvels, because there's so many out there. But the Golden Age books, they're just so scarce that they're gonna retain the value or keep climbing. Now, there is conjecture that there are a lot of older collectors now who are passing away, and that these books will become more available. There'll be more out there. But I still don't see the Golden Age books dropping in price much.
No.
No, I don't think so either. So open your wallets, buy the books.
Yeah. Or buy a facsimile.
Buy a facsimile edition for $6. So
There you go.
just as good. All right. Well, that wraps up episode 4 of Comics 101. Gary, thank you. And
Thank you.
perfect couple of comics right there, J-Dub and Precious. So we thank you very much. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also, feel free to make some comments. Give us some show ideas. What do you want to hear? It could be a character, could be a storyline, could be publisher, could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Could be what's on Uncle Gary's hat, So
Comic Logic, baby.
Logic, Ashburn, Virginia. So we thank you very much, everybody. You guys have a great evening.
See ya.
See ya.
See you in the next one. Hey coders, if you like that, give us a subscribe. And if you want more content like that, definitely check out the videos above. Hope you enjoy it. There's a lot for everyone.